Hey guys. Excuse me. In the background, my daughter's teacher is communicating through Zoom. So we need the unit circle. Let's get the unit circle out. Let's get the unit circle out here. Unit circle. That's very nice. All right, so we're going to use this to reference this sheet. What I had started last week was terminal sides. Explain terminal sides, which are the sides that are created from the representative angle, which is essentially from the origin to a point on the circle. That's going to be the terminal side. So if I wanted 150 degrees, I'm looking from 0 to 150. It's going to have the coordinates of -3/2 and 1/2. Um, right, so in today's sheet, what we're going to just be doing is going to be referencing this unit circle. I did assign it with last week's sheet. I'll be referencing this unit circle and trying to find out the x and y coordinates for certain angles. This is what makes this topic pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's go back to the sheet. Okay, here we go. Now keep in mind SOHCAHTOA. I'll just write that out, SOHCAHTOA. Right, so we want the tangent of theta. What would tangent represent? So again, let's look at this. Sine, again, represents opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine represents adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent represents opposite over adjacent. Okay, so the first one problem right we have to the left is a tangent of theta. So we want to know the tangent of 60 degrees. Keep in mind at 60 degrees we have certain coordinates, right? So let's go back to unit circle. And we look at 60 degrees. So at 60 degrees we have 1/2. Our x value is 1/2. And radical 3/2. Okay. So, okay, so looking at that, we see we need to find the tangent of that. Keep in mind what the tangent is. Tangent is the opposite. In this case, we have it being 1/2, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna redraw that in fluid math where I can actually draw it. So we know it's 1/2 and radical 3/2, okay? So right here, color, red, 1/2 radical 3/2. Right, that's what we have. And this is 60 degrees. So keeping in mind, 1/2 will represent our x, and radical 3/2 will represent our y. So again, keep in mind that the x is represented by cosine, cos, and the y is represented by sine. Tangent is sine over cosine. So if we want to find out what's the tangent of angle theta, we're going to need the sine over cosine. So we're going to have radical 2. So let me erase this part right here. So we're going to have tangent 60 degrees. In this case, is going to be equal to sine over. So our sine is represented by y. So radical 3 over 2 over 1 half. You want to see that? So now, you remember you can't divide by a fraction, so it's going to be essentially radical 3. I'm going to put an answer right here. So over 1 half. So this is going to be radical 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. Cancel out, cancel out. Left with the radical 3 as the answer. Radical 3. You guys got it? Right? Let's try another. In the same vein, keep in mind it's SOHCAHTOA, so sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So let's look at question 2. Let me erase all this. Okay, so sine, we have 225 degrees. Keep that in mind, right? Or we could look at it from the other angle, but let's just see. Let's just use the traditional way so you guys can understand this. The total measurement is 225 degrees. If we're dealing with a straight line right here, the straight line part right here is 180 degrees. And then if the total angle measurement of everything is 225, I'm going to say 225 minus 180. This should give me about a 45 degree angle. So my angle measurement right here is 45. Let's use that as a reference. But I'm going to go back to my unit circle chart. Look at it, right? To see where I am at 225. Okay, so I'm left with negative radical 2 over negative radical 2. So it's negative radical 2 over negative radical 2. I can't circle it, but you see 225. Check for where 225 is at. It's negative radical 2 over negative radical 2. Oh, sorry, negative radical 2 and negative radical 2. Okay, so let's go back to fluid math. So this angle right here is negative radical 2 over negative radical 2. Right, those are my coordinates. This is my x and this is my y. This is my cosine and this is my sine, generally. So now what I'm going to be looking for is sine, right? Sine. So sine opposite over hypotenuse. Right? So sine actually we still have to leave 225 in it, so this is actually nonsense. So what's my opposite? My opposite is my opposite is going to be my y value. This is negative radical 2 over 2. It doesn't really matter in this case since it's the same exact value. So I'm just going to maybe just erase this part right here. Just give myself some space. Oh, so this is sine. So it's going to be sine 225, right, is going to be equal to negative radical 2 over 2 and negative radical 2 over 2. This looks like a 3. And 2 over 2, right? So then once I run this, right, it's going to be, here with this part right here, here with that part right here, it's going to be negative radical 2 over 2 times 2 over negative radical 2. Okay, cancel that and cancel that out. But here, essentially cancel those two things out. I'm just left with a 1. 1 is my answer. Any questions so far? Then let me give you guys about 3 minutes to try the next one. This is a 90-degree one, alright? Try that one. I'll be right back. Sorry guys. I just wanted to find out. So what answer did we get, right? Let's look at this again. So we're at 90 degrees. Let's go back to our trusty old unit circle reference chart. 90 degrees, we're at 0 and 1 as being the coordinate. 0 and 1 at 90 degrees, right? So we go back to fluid math right here, 0 and 1. So it's essentially going to be what? You're asking for the sign. The sign is opposite over adjacent, right? Sorry, opposite over hypotenuse, sorry. So what's opposite of the 90-degree angle? Would be this line right here. Let me draw this out right here for you guys. So we have sine of theta. So this is 0, 1, right? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So remember, this is sine. This is cosine. This is sine, right? Right, so the sine of theta at 90 degrees is just going to be 1. Or actually, no, sorry, it's just going to be 0. This is a relatively simple one. You can actually put in a calculator. Sine 90 degrees. Yeah, sorry, sine 90 degrees is just going to be 1, sorry. It's actually just going to be 1. Right, so that's not another one you really need to figure out. It's just going to be 1. See right now. Okay, so next we're gonna have is going to be 150. It's gonna be 150 degrees. So keep in mind, going back to my reference chart again, 150 degrees is going to be what? 150 degrees is going to be negative radical 3 over 2 and 1/2. This time they're asking you for the sine. So let's go back to that again. No, that's for the cosine, okay. So let me erase all this part right here. Erase all this good stuff. In this case, it's going to be negative radical 3 over 2, and the other coordinate is going to be, let's make sure we look at that, and the other coordinate is going to be 1/2. The other coordinate is going to be 1/2. 1/2. Right, so that's what we're looking for. Now they're asking for the cosine. So again, this is cos, and this is sine, and cosine says adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent over the hypotenuse, right? So the adjacent, right? We're looking for the cosine of this one right here. So the cosine of this one right here, the x coordinate is going to be or is going to be right here, negative radical 3 over 2, and the y coordinate is going to be 1/2. So the adjacent is going to be keeping in mind that this line right here is 1 itself. This line right here, the hypotenuse for all this is 1 because it's a radius. I'm not sure if I made that clear. So this time it's going to be the cosine of theta, the cosine of that angle. In this case, they give me this cosine is a negative radical 3 over 2, right? Over that hypotenuse. So the answer is going to be negative radical 3 over 2. Negative radical 3 over 2, guys. Alright, that's what the answer is going to be. Anyone want to see that? Anyone have a question on that? Sorry about that. I don't know if I made that point clear. I don't know if I made that point clear in the first one. In question two either. I don't know if I made that point clear. Let's look at again the cosine of theta, and we have theta being 90 degrees. That's the one you can put in the calculator to make your life a lot easier. That's the one you can put in the calculator to make your life easier. Okay, I'm gonna do 5 and 7. I'm gonna leave 6 and 8 for you guys to do. All right. So cosine of theta, we'll just put that in the calculator, right? No sense in busting your chops. So cosine of theta. So yeah, let me clear this out right here. You have the cosine of 90 degrees, right, which is exactly 0. Because if you're looking at the cosine of theta, let's see if we can figure out y at 0. If we're looking at the cosine of theta, we're going to go right here. We're going to go right here. We're looking at the cosine of theta. Cosine is cosine of 90 degrees. Now we have 90 degrees in the unit circle. It's 0, 1. Those are our coordinates. Now we're focused mainly on the 0 part. So that's going to be 0 over 1. 0 over anything is 0. So 0. The 1 is the hypotenuse, guys. Keep that in mind. The 1 is the hypotenuse. I'm not sure if I made that clear, that point clear, but that's what it is. Where are we? Fluid math, right? Fluid math. Fluid math. What about 7? 7. You reference back our unit circle, right? So let me erase all this again. Erase all this quick. Okay. Got another 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes actually. Let me end this. So for number 7, we want cosine theta, right? And it's 135 degrees that we're looking at, right? So we go back to our trusty little unit circle right here, 135 degrees. 135 degrees is giving us negative radical 2 over 2 and radical 2 over 2. So that's going to be negative radical 2 over 2 and radical 2 over 2. That's what we're left with, right? So we look at the cosine again. Keep in mind that the blue line, this blue line is equal to 1, right? Because of the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse in a unit circle itself, or unit circle itself, because otherwise it's going to erase, is equal to 1. Is 1, okay? So let me erase all this right here. So if we're looking at this right here, it's cosine. The cosine is messing with the x, so it's this right here going to be this over 1. So yes, it's going to be negative radical 2 over 2. Because it's essentially this over 1, right? All right. Any questions on that? I want to be able to get ready for my next class. So please let me know if you have any questions, guys. All right. Have any questions on this? Because I believe this is what the next sheet is going to be. I'm going to print this out right now, and I'm going to assign this for you guys to look at. For next sheet, probably have it due like Thursday. Any questions on this, guys? Emily, Jeffrey, Diane? Nothing? All right, so if you don't have any questions, guys, then I'm going to end this session, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow. All right, I guess.